So you know how in Ezekiel talks about a third temple?
Which
And it
Jesus
could
doesn't
measure.
fulfill, by the way.
No. Yeah, he does. He says, "I will destroy this temple in 3 days, and I will resurrect." So Jesus is saying he
Oh
is
boy.
the third temple.
Oh
Wait,
boy.
hold on. No. It makes perfect sense because God, every single time God makes a temple.
Just wait. Let's. Did you know that Ezekiel actually gives us a blueprint
Yeah,
for the temple?
yeah, I know.
He gives us the sizes. He gives us a whole vision of what the temple will look like, and it's not a Jewish man's body. That's number one. Just wait. Number two, you know what else Ezekiel says the Messiah will do when the third temple is built? Let's go there.
What? I know what it says. It says,
let's go to Ezekiel. Here we go. We're in Ezekiel 45:22. All right. Let's pull it up right quick. Here we go. On that day, the prince, which is the Messiah, is to provide a bull as a sin offering for himself and for all the people of the land.
yeah.
Did Jesus offer a sin offering for his sins and for the sins of the people?
Yeah.
Jesus offered a sacrifice for his own sins and for the sins of the people?
Yes.
I thought Jesus was sinless.
Wait. No. Jesus never offered sin. Sorry.
You just said he offered a sacrifice for himself and for the sins of the people.
Yeah, God sacrificed himself.
No, not sacrifice himself. He offered a sacrifice for himself and for the people.
No, he never did that.
Okay, so then Ezekiel doesn't help you. Ezekiel contradicts your Messiah, dude.
This temple will be the fourth temple after the mosque is destroyed.
There's no fourth temple, man.
No. It says in Revelation there will be a fourth temple. So once that mosque is destroyed, forget it. I mean, it's not that
the golden mosque is going to be destroyed. Okay, well, once the Aqsa Mosque is destroyed, which is never going to happen, but we'll see. When the Aqsa Mosque is destroyed, is Jesus going to offer a sacrifice for himself and for the people?
It might be ceremonial, but I don't like I said, not everything in Scripture is taken literal. I think it might be ceremonial though.
All right, so
just once.
So then you have the Christian dilemma, which Jeremiah confirms the Torah contradicts it, and you have Jesus who confirms the Torah but turns out to be a false Messiah. As a matter of fact, let's go there right now since you don't have any answers for me. So let's see.
Oh my gosh, bro!
Here, let's pull it up. Can you take your Bible with me? Can you go to Matthew 23, please?
Okay. Man, you really like trying to shred people's faith, eh?
Hey, man. We just read, man. That's all. All right. Matthew 23.
Matthew 22? 23.
Can you go, Matthew 23. Can you go there with me right quick?
Yeah, what's the verse?
Verse 1.
Okay.
Then Jesus spoke to the multitudes and to his disciples, saying, the scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat. Therefore, whatever they tell you, observe and do, but do not do according to their works, for they do not practice what they preach. Sounds good?
Have the authority. Okay. Yeah, let's talk to the Pharisees and not the Essenes, which existed at the time of Jeremiah.
Well, the Essenes existed in the time of Jesus too. But anyways, so...
No.
Yes, of course they did. So...
what? Why are you just spreading falsehood?
Yeah, well, we'll see about that, but you're shifting topics now. So it doesn't even matter.
Right.
Josephus tells us that there was Essenes. There was three main Jewish sects: the Pharisees, Sadducees, and the Essenes. But anyways, that's besides the point. Does Jesus tell you to obey everything the Pharisees command you and teach you?
No.
All right. Can you read that again for me one more time?
In John 8, it says...
I'm not reading John 8. I'm reading Matthew 23.
The teachers of the law and the Pharisees have the authority to tell you that the law of Moses says that you should obey them. Do everything they tell you to do. Yeah, but then you also have... All right.
So let's just, before you go somewhere else, does Jesus say to obey all of what the Pharisees teach?
No, because he said no. He doesn't.
Oh,
this is taken out of context.
Oh, maybe I'm speaking Vietnamese. Hold on, let me just read the English one more time. Then Jesus spoke to the multitudes and to his disciples, saying, "The scribes and the Pharisees sit in the seat of Moses, so be sure to do and observe everything they tell you." All right, so I'm pretty sure that was English. So, are you supposed to do and observe everything they tell you?
Man, you're an absolute clown, man. You know that?
Nice. Are you to do everything and observe everything the Pharisees tell you, sir?
No, bro. Because, here it does, but other places it doesn't say to do that.
Oh, it's almost like that's the Christian dilemma, sir. So, are you supposed to obey everything they tell you, or are you not supposed to say and obey everything?
Bro, in the old covenant, in the old covenant you're supposed to. In the new covenant, when Jesus dies, you're not supposed to.
Well, let me just check again where Matthew was. Pretty sure it's in the new covenant. So
no, the new covenant is.
Why does Jesus tell his disciples to obey everything the Pharisees tell you and teach you?
Wait, the new covenant is after Jesus dies. You know that, right?
Okay,
in Jeremiah, it says God will give a new covenant.
Okay, so any command before Jesus died is annulled?
Yes.
Okay, so you can't pray the Lord's Prayer anymore?
Wait, what are you talking about?
He said when you pray like this: Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, your kingdom
come,
all of your will be done.
All of Jesus' teachings is still sound, just not the stuff that Moses said.
Oh, where does Jesus say that?
Jesus says that I think it's in John somewhere.
Okay.
He says,
let's see it.
Wait, all right. I know Paul says that. Paul says that.
Paul. Naughty Paul. Of course he does. Of course he does.
What's your problem with Paul, man?
Well, you just said it yourself. You couldn't find where Jesus says the Torah is done away with. Paul says the Torah is done away with. So
I gotta study, man. I gotta study.
Now, of course, you gotta study, but not any amount of studying is not gonna save you from this. You gotta put
there's always explanations, man. Every issue you have, there always is an explanation.
Well, we'll see if there's an explanation to this one. Does Jesus tell his followers to obey the Pharisees?
Okay, here in this context, in this time period, in this era, yes.
Nice. Did the Pharisees teach that there was a unipersonal God or a tripersonal God?
A unipersonal God, yeah.
So
in a nominal sense.
Nice. So Jesus says to obey the Pharisees that teach there is no Trinity?
No. Well, bro, okay, yeah, sure. He says that. But to them, in that time period.
Nice. So in that time period, Jesus says there is no Trinity because the Pharisees say so.
Dude, why are you such a snake? Like, honestly, man.
Huh?
Why are you such a snake?
I'm just reading, man. That's all.
Dude, you do realize that
okay, maybe the Trinity is too hard.
No. Wait, hold on. Wait, can I explain? No, it'll make sense if I explained it. So, obviously, we're going to count one God in the nominal sense. Jesus and the Holy Spirit are going to be predicative. So it's going to be monarchical. I'm a monarchical Trinitarian. So
Yeah,
it still would be one God.
you don't even know what that means. But anyways, did the
No,
Pharisees?
I do.
Nice. Did the Pharisees teach that?
Yeah, I know in the Book of Enoch it says there will be like
I said, did the
a
Pharisees
second.
teach that? And in the book of
Uh,
in the book of Enoch, the
in the Book
Metatron,
of John,
Enoch,
right?
yeah, in the book of Enoch, the Metatron is the second Yahweh, and he's a lesser Yahweh, so it's not even Jesus. Anyways, so
Well,
the
hold on. In the
question,
Book of John, it says
hey, dude,
a whole library could be filled.
the Pharisees, did they teach that or not? Did
They
the
might have.
Pharisees? The Pharisees
We
might have
might have.
taught,
They might have.
the Pharisees might have taught monarchical Trinitarianism.
Yeah. Well, at least Jesus would have interpreted it that way.
Did the Pharisees interpret it that way?
Okay, bro. Like this isn't getting us nowhere, man. I think you just reject God because you want to sin.
Okay, nice. You reject Clifford the Big Red Dog because you don't have enough faith in him.
That's a fictional character.
Okay, so you see how when you said that to me, you see how I used the same logic and turned it on you. Yeah. So
Yeah,
your
but
God,
the
I
difference is
reject.
God is real.
I reject your God because he's a fictional character. He's as fictional as Clifford the Big Red Dog. Surprise,
No.
surprise.
I reject
Anyways,
Allah, the deceiver, the Satan.
oh, deceiver, the Satan. Nice. Why
Yeah,
is that? Why do you call him a deceiver?
Allah is the deceiver. He says the greatest of deceivers. Guess who else is the biggest of deceivers? Satan.
Satan is the greatest deceiver. Okay, and Allah is the greatest deceiver as well, right? Why is that? How is
Yeah.
he the greatest deceiver?
Well, it says in Surah 5, verse 47, I believe
What does it
that
say?
he's the greatest of deceivers. Okay, maybe not 47, but it's in there.
Yeah, get the verse.
Let me
Let's
look.
go over it quick.
Well, okay, in this translation it says he's the greatest of planners, but they misrepresent the
Okay.
Arabic.
Oh, okay. No,
In
it's
the
not.
Arabic, it says deceiver.
No, in the Arabic, it doesn't say deceiver. Okay, so
It literally does, bro.
so you're actually speaking to an Arabic speaker who whose language, surprise, surprise, is Arabic, who grew up
To an Arabic
speaking.
liar.
So now, let me just explain to you a little bit. Okay, in that context, okay, and I'm gonna show you how you buried yourself. It can't even mean deceiver. You want to know why?
Yeah.
Read a few verses before.
Oh, wait, I'm trying to find it. Can you tell me where it is?
Yeah. Let's put.
Is the Mustafa Kataba version any good, by the way?
It's all right. I have it. It's chapter 8, verse 30.
Chapter 8. It's chapter 8. Right. I just read it the other day, so I knew I saw it.
Nice.
Chapter 8. Verse.
Yeah, let's go over it.
Okay, sure. And hey, you can't diss me. I am reading the Quran, so I am open, but Christianity is still the truth.
Yeah, just read verse 30, and it's the full verse.
And remember, O prophet, when the disbelievers conspired to capture, kill, or exile.
Wait. You know the word conspired there in Arabic?
I have no idea.
It's the same word that says Allah is the greatest of. So did the disbelievers deceive to capture, kill, and exile? Or did they plan to capture, kill, or exile?
I have no idea. I mean, this is the pagan conspiracy, so.
Nice, man. Let's go over it right quick. Let's go over it right quick, man. For the culture. For the culture.
For the worst culture.
All right, here we go. All right. Can you read for me?
I can't see. Hold on a sec.
Here.
And remember, O prophet, the disbelievers conspired to capture, kill, or exile.
When the disbelievers conspire, does that mean to plan?
Bro, I don't know why you're bringing up this random verse. It literally says next that he's the greatest.
It's the same. It's the same. Just wait. Does that mean to plan when the disbelievers conspired? So they were planning, right?
Conspired means it's an idea. It's a thought.
So they were planning.
That's what it means,
right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
but in a different context. It's planning.
Let's see the word used.
Yamkuru.
Oh, let's see the. It's the same word that Allah uses for Himself, and He says that He's the best of.
Al-Makirin.
Wow. So how could it mean deceive in this context when the disbelievers are deceiving to capture and kill and exile? Are they deceiving to capture and kill, or are they planning to capture and kill?
Yeah, I think here it does say something else. Well, yeah, God. Yeah, so God is saying He's as bad as these disbelievers are in terms of conspiring.
So then they're planning to capture and kill. Allah is also planning, and Allah is the best of planners. That's number one. Number two, okay, we don't have a problem with God doing passive deception. Do you have a problem with that?
Oh, I absolutely do. God doesn't deceive people.
So
Do you know what
passive deception is?
Passive deception. No. No, I actually do. Actually, I don't.
When you make something appear to be one way, when in reality it's another way.
Yeah, that's what Iblis does. That's bad.
Oh, that's what Iblis does. Oh, that's interesting. So why does God make it appear to the Assyrian army? He makes them hear noises of a big army coming towards them to save the Israelites, to make them run away.
The difference is those guys were, doing child sacrifice and they were killing a bunch of people.
Yeah,
so God, that was a war tactic.
Did God make the Assyrian army hear noises that didn't exist, so they think there's a bigger army than they are, to run away and save the Israelites?
Yeah, He did do that.
Oh, so He made it seem one way when in reality it wasn't that way. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So Yahweh deceived?
Yeah, the Father deceived. Jesus doesn't deceive.
So the Father is Satan and Jesus is not Satan?
Actually, I know an explanation for that. So you know how in Chronicles it says God used Satan to conspire David to number the people of Israel? So God could have used Satan there, a deceiver, to deceive the Amalekites there. Okay, does that make sense with you?
So then God is the primary agent in deception.
God uses people who uses deception, because God Himself cannot deceive.
Which makes Him the primary agent in the deception.
The first cause? I guess you could say He's the first. I mean, no. All right, so you can say that a lot.
So he's the deceiver, right?
Wait, hold on. You can say that Allah is the greatest infidel because He's the first cause to cause these infidels to say Allahu Akbar and do whatever else.
Yeah,
these bombers, right?
No,
these kamikaze bombers.
Yeah. So no, that's not how it works. So you said
yeah, it does. Yeah.
Dude, are you okay?
Are you?
Are you like? Are you on the spectrum, man? Anyways, so let's try this again. Did Yahweh desire to send Satan to deceive?
Sorry?
Did Yahweh desire to send Satan to deceive?
He had his hand compromised. Because the Amalekites were so sinful, he could not watch it. He had his hand tied.
So God's hand was tied?
The Amalekites were so sinful, he was forced to do it. His hands were tied. Does that make sense? Because you're trying to get me into gotcha, and I'm not going to allow it.
God was forced to do it, ladies and gentlemen, man.
Because of his goodness. God is
we hear something new from these Christians every day, but this is a new kind of. I mean, I've never heard that one before. God was forced to deceive. That's amazing. It's almost as if he's just making it up as he goes.